Mr. Caio had a small farm from which he earned his living, and he had a gray donkey named Jack. He used his donkey to carry the vegetables he had harvested to sell in the village market. When he returned home, the donkey would carry products from the market on his back. Jack would also help him to plow the field. Mr. Caio was a hard-working farmer. He planted seasonal vegetables in his field and sold them to buy home necessities. Work was sometimes hard, sometimes simple. Mr. Caio treated Jack with much kindness and loved him very much. One morning, Mr. Caio woke up early as usual. He brushed his teeth, washed his face and hands as usual, then went to the barn. He then stroked his donkey's back as a morning greeting. Jack was always happy to see Mr. Caio. He was comfortable with the way Mr. Caio treated him. He approached Mr. Caio contentedly and sniffed him as if responding to the greeting. Mr. Caio gave him food and water and then said,
"Come on, Jack. It's time to work. Hopefully we'll finish work early today so that I can rest. I'm feeling a little tired today, and I don't know why."
Together, they went to the market, which wasn't very far from Mr. Caio's farm. Mr. Caio had a habit of talking to Jack on their way to the market, but this time, Mr. Caio was quiet. Jack felt that his owner was tired, which was unusual, and that he could barely walk. What was wrong with him now? Was he ill? Jack couldn't ask him, but whenever his owner fell behind him, he'd look at him as if to say, "What's wrong, sir?" Mr. Caio understood Jack's concern, and in order to reassure him, he drew closer to him and stroked his back and said,
"Don't worry, my friend. I'm just a bit tired. Let's continue. Only a little left to go."
They continued together, but Mr. Caio got slower and slower. What's he doing? Jack wished the distance was shorter so that they could arrive sooner, and so his owner wouldn't feel so tired. As soon as the village was a spot on the horizon, Jack brayed. Mr. Caio understood that they were approaching the market. Mr. Caio said weakly,
"Yes, my friend, we've arrived. All we need to do now is deliver the goods to Mr. Edward's grocery and head home."
Jack nodded his head in agreement, but he wasn't comfortable with Mr. Caio's condition. They entered the village and walked towards the village market. Mr. Caio usually arrived early, but this time he was late, and the farmers were already there. Mr. Caio stood at the opening of the market passage. Jack saw that his owner was now staggering, but was intent on reaching Mr. Edward's grocery shop to deliver the daily goods.
"Only a little left to go,"
said Mr. Caio to Jack. As soon as he finished his sentence, he dropped to the ground and didn't move. Jack noticed his owner's fall, and when he saw him on the ground, he quickly drew near his owner and started licking his hand. But Mr. Caio didn't move. He knew something was wrong. What should he do now? He hee-hawed and hee-hawed, but in vain, because his braying was drowned out among the noise of the vendors and his fellow donkeys. People were busy in the market, and their voices kept getting louder and louder. Nobody would understand what he wanted if he kept on braying. Nobody else had noticed Mr. Caio's fall. He thought about what he was going to do. He was afraid that a cart might run his owner over. No time for hesitation, he thought to himself. He had to pull his owner away from the road and the carts. He had to drag him by his clothes and raise him above the passages, away from the wheels of the carts and the pedestrian traffic. After a great effort, he arrived at a safe place. Now he had to go and get help. But who would understand him? He said to himself, "I'll go to Mr. Edward. Maybe he'll wonder why I came without my owner." He ran as fast as he could towards Mr. Edward's, and when he arrived, He stopped a bit to catch his breath. Then he started hee-hawing loudly. Mr. Edward began to unload the cart. Jack continued braying non-stop. Mr. Edward wondered why Jack was behaving that way and said to him,
"What's wrong, Jack?" "Hush now. Where's your owner, Mr. Caio?"
Jack then tried grabbing Mr. Edward's clothes to pull him to his owner. Mr. Edward said,
"What's the matter with you, Jack? Let go of my clothes. Why are you behaving like that? Where's your owner to watch over you?"
But Jack didn't let go of his clothes and began pulling him. Mr. Edward felt that something was wrong. Jack turned his head and began pushing Mr. Edwards towards the place where he had left Mr. Caio. And then Mr. Edward realized that there was something that Jack was trying to tell him.
"Is Mr. Caio all right?"
asked Mr. Edward. Jack shook his head a lot, and so Mr. Edward knew that something had happened to Mr. Caio. So he said with curiosity,
"Where's Mr. Caio? Take me to him, quickly."
Jack ran in front of him to show him where Mr. Caio was, and Mr. Edward followed. Jack brayed all the way. When they arrived, Mr. Caio was still on the ground. When Mr. Edward saw that, he ran to help him quickly. He tried to wake him up, but Mr. Caio wouldn't wake up. Then Mr. Edward began calling out to people.
"Please, somebody help my friend. He's unconscious. Call the ambulance."
People ran here and there and brought him the medic, and they raised his head up and tried to resuscitate him. Jack was watching them from a distance, and whenever he tried to draw closer to check on his owner, they'd keep him out. He stood away, sad, and didn't know what to do. In the midst of his thoughts, Jack felt a hand patting his back, and then heard Mr. Edward say,
"You're brave and smart. You've saved your owner, Jack. Don't worry. He's coming back to you. They rescued him. It seems he's totally exhausted and needs to rest."
Then he took him to his owner and addressed the crowd. "Make way for clever Jack. If it wasn't for him, we would have lost Mr. Caio. He just saved his owner." People looked at Jack with admiration and said, "Excellent job, Jack. You're a loyal and smart donkey." Jack drew nearer to his owner, who was still weak and sitting on a chair. Mr. Caio patted Jack's head. The tears in Mr. Caio's eyes were somehow thanking the donkey for saving his life. Jack shook his head as if to tell his owner that he was overjoyed to see him well. From that day on, Jack became a role model for loyalty and good conduct in the village.